QSD from the Denver Radio Club. Welcome to the Denver Radio Club Net, being held on repeater W0TX. This is a meeting held on the air every Sunday evening at about 8:30 p.m. Good evening. My name is Jim. My call sign is Kilo Zero Tango Oscar Romeo. I'll be your net control station transmitting from Littleton, Colorado. If there's any emergency or priority traffic during this net, say break at any pause, and the net will be suspended until the emergency or priority traffic is completed. This net is for Denver Radio Club members and all interested radio amateurs. We're here to share information concerning any ham-related activities. Regular meetings of the Denver Radio Club are held on the third Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. And with the COVID-19 restrictions, we do virtual meetings, and we do that using Google Meets. If you'd like to join us, the address for that website is on our club website at W0TX.org, or if you're on our email list, you'll get an email that actually lists that address for that website. Our next meeting will be on January the 19th, and an Homer session is held at 6 p.m. just prior to our monthly meeting. This session addresses any amateur radio questions you might have. So whether you're new to amateur radio or interested in some new application of amateur radio, this is a session where you can get help. Also, every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m., except the third Wednesday when our monthly meeting is held, there's a learning net held on 145.490 megahertz and 448.625 megahertz. This is another area where you can find answers for amateur radio-related questions. As a general interest club, we provide emergency communication for the Salvation Army, City of Wheat Ridge Police Department, City of Lakewood Police Department, West Metro Fire District, and St. Anthony's West Hospital. We're always looking for members who would like to participate in this support. Please contact our club president if you'd like to help. Our current president is Jerry Vilhauer, W0GV. Jerry's telephone number is 303-467-0223. The Denver Radio Club website address is W0TX.org. Again, Jerry's telephone number is 303-467-0223.
W0TX repeater.
The Denver Radio Club also participates in the ARRL Volunteer Examiner Program. And again, with the COVID-19 restrictions, we do not have our BE testing as often as we'd like to have. But when we do have them scheduled, we'll pass that information on to you on this net. Plus, we list that on our website, W0TX.org. And we also have some hams from other clubs that check into on this net. They pass on testing information from other clubs as well. And so if you're trying to find a place to get your testing done, you might monitor this net, and we'll try and see if we can't pass that on for you so you know where testing's available. If you have other questions regarding BE testing, you can contact our BE team lead, Tom Kashowski, KC2CHG, and his phone number is 720-284-1911. This is the Denver Radio Club Net, W0TX, and this is K0TR, NISNet Control. Are there any special announcements or bulletins for the net this evening? If so, please call now.
N0ETV, brief announcement.
N0ETV, this is K0TR. Go ahead, Lance, with your announcement. I do have you checked in.
N0ETV, good afternoon. Yesterday morning at HRO, the Mile High VE team had its test session. We awarded 3 techs, 2 generals, and we had 1 no-show and no walk-ins. N0ETV, back to net.
N0ETV, this is K02R. Thank you very much, Lance, for your announcement. And let me check and see, do we have any other traffic, any special announcements, bulletins for the net? If so, please call now. Before regular check-ins, I'd like to welcome and invite any visiting radio amateurs to check into the Denver Radio Club Net this evening. During this net, we disable the requirement for the 100 Hz PL repeater access tone. So you can use either 145.490 MHz with a minus 600 kHz offset, or 448.625 MHz with a minus 5 MHz offset. Are there any visiting radio amateurs who would like to check into the Denver Radio Club Net tonight? If so, please call now. Next, I'd like to welcome and invite any newly licensed or recently upgraded radio amateurs to check in. Please call now. I'll now take regular check-ins in groups. Please let me know if you have traffic when you check in, and I'll get back to you. First, radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters A through E, Alpha through Echo. Please call now.
010, Delta Papa Romeo, Paul and Roy.
Whiskey Bravo 0, Alpha Kilo Victor, Rich in Westminster, no traffic.
Here is November 0, Delta Bravo Sierra, N0 DBS, Dawn in Denver, no traffic.
Kilo Alpha 5, Delta Kilo Sierra, Ken in Arvada.
KF0 ELJ Jack in Golden, no traffic.
Kilo Charlie 0, Charlie Zulu, Baba Thornton.
And Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. K0 DPR Paul, WB0 AKV Rich, N0 DBS Don, KA5 DKS Ken, KF0 TLJ Jack, and KC0 CZ Bob. Make second call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters A through E, Alpha through Echo. Please call now.
That's a correction on
Kilo Foxtrot 0 Echo Lima Juliet or Jack and Golden.
All right, thanks, Jack. KF0 Echo Lima Juliet. Thanks for the correction. And again, let me make a second call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters A through E, Alpha through Echo. Please call now. All right, we'll move on down the alphabet. Radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters F through J, Foxtrot through Juliet. Please call now.
Alpha 0 Juliet Kilo. AA 0 JK Fred in Arvada. Good evening. No traffic.
W0TV Jerry Westminster.
N0 GWM Leon in Lakewood.
Kilo 6 Hotel Juliet Victor, K6H JV Tom Arvada, no traffic.
Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. AA0JK Fred, W0GV Jerry, N0GWM Leon, and K6HJV Tom. Make a second call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters F through J, Foxtrot through Juliet. Please call now.
W0TX Repeater.
Kilo Foxtrot 0 Foxtrot Papa India. Ron in Lakewood, no traffic.
Kilo Echo 6, Kilo Bravo Mike, Severance.
And Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. K0FPI Ron, and KE6KBM. Sorry, I missed the name. Could come back with the name, please?
Oh, sorry, my fault. Mark is the name here. KE6KBM, Mark. No traffic. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Mark. And let me move on down the alphabet. Radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters K through O, Kilo through Oscar. Please call now.
Kilo 0, Kilo Papa Sierra, Kevin Lakewood, no traffic.
Whiskey 0 Lima Foxtrot, Orland and Golden, no traffic, over.
Kilo Echo 0, Oscar Sierra India, Tom Highlands Ranch, no traffic.
Kilo Echo 0 Oscar Charlie Mobile. Tom from Fort Lupton, Mobile and toward DIA. No traffic.
KD0 NRO Reed in Arvada.
is Whiskey Alpha 4 Mike Bravo Golf, Bob in Aurora, no traffic.
W0N, Dave in Lakewood. Lots of multipass from the repeater tonight.
And Net Control would like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. K0 KPS Kevin, WW0 LF Orland, KE0 OSI Tom, and I think there was another one in there that I missed. If I don't repeat your name or call sign, would you call again, please? I thought surely there was one in there, but might be hearing things. Next I had KB0 NRO Reed, WA4MBG Bob, and WG0N Dave. If I missed you calling the first call sign, then first go around, come back here in second call. Make second call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters K through O, Kilo through Oscar. Please call now. All right, we'll move on down the alphabet. Radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters P through T, Papa through Tango. Please call now.
Whiskey Bravo 2, Sierra Hotel Romeo. Stanton, Denver, no traffic.
Kilo Echo 0, Romeo Victor Zulu John in Lakewood, no traffic.
November 0, Tango Romeo Papa, Jim in Lakewood. Good evening.
Kilo Bravo 9er, Quebec Delta Golf, KB9 QDG, Carl, Lakewood, no traffic.
Net Control would like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. WB2 SHR Stan, KE0 RVZ John, N0 TRP Jim, and KB9er QDG Carl. Make second call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters P through T, Papa through Tango. Please call now.
Kilo Golf 5, Papa Delta Foxtrot, Jake, Denver.
And at control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-in. Kilo Golf 5, Papa Delta Foxtrot, Dave. And let's move down the alphabet. And radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters U through Z, uniform through Zulu. Please call now.
W0TX repeater.
KF0UV, Marshall in Glendale.
November 1, Zulu Tango Tango, Dan in Denver, no traffic.
May double, AC0BC, Bill and Elizabeth.
Kilo 0, Yankee Echo Sierra, Ken in Broomfield.
Kilo Echo 0, Yankee Kilo Victor, Bill in Lakewood.
And at control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. KF0UV Marshall, N1ZTT Dan, AC0VC Bill, and I think I had a double in there as well. So if I miss your call, if you come back in the second round. And next I had K0YES Ken and KE0YKV Bill. Make a second call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters U through Z, uniform through Zulu. Please call now. All right, let me open up the entire alphabet. Radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters A through Z, Alpha through Zulu. Please call now.
Kathy Baker 0, uniform Indian Golf. Michael G.
And at control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-in. KB0UIG Michael. And Michael, would you give me a call on the telephone when you get a chance? And there'll be a chance for late check-ins a little later in the net. And next, I'd like to invite our club president, Jerry Vilhauer, W0GB, to cover club business. Go ahead, Jerry, then Ed is yours.
All right, Jim. Well, thanks for doing the net. Welcome, everybody. Don't have a lot to tell you tonight other than our next meeting will be obviously virtual still, and it'll be January 19th at 7 p.m., and we'll have John W6NBC telling us about matching antennas and the types of tuners or matching units that work best with certain types of antennas, and why the tuner in your radio, if you have one, may not be the best application for some antennas. So it'll be interesting presentation. That'll be on January 19th. And just remind you, especially newer hams are learning that on Wednesday evenings, every Wednesday except the third Wednesday when we have our regular meeting online. And information's on our website, W0TX.org, and it's a real good place to get on the air and ask questions, and that's the whole purpose of it. So, like I say, there's no dumb questions. You get on, and always good subjects and interesting topics. So that's about all I got. Hope everybody's having a good week and staying well and enjoying this cold weather. W0GV.
W0GV, this is K02R. Thanks, Jerry. We do appreciate that. And I don't see anybody that checked in tonight that indicated they had traffic. Hope I didn't miss anybody. This is the Denver Radio Club Net, W0TX, and this is K02R Net Control Station. Does anyone have any other comments, information, or business for the net? If so, please call now. All right, do we have any late check-ins? Please call now.
Kilo 0, Kilo uniform.
And Net Control would like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-in. Kilo 0, Kilo uniform. Could I get a name, please?
Yeah, sorry. This is Frank at Thornton.
Thanks, Frank. I recognize the call sign. I'd be darned if I could get the name, so thanks for that. Oh, mine isn't doing as good as it should be, I guess. Make a second call. We have any other late check-ins? Please call now. All right, I'll go through and review weekend Hamfest, or the upcoming Hamfest, I should say, and the weekend contest. The next Hamfest we have on the calendar, which is going to be this coming weekend, so looks like that one's going to take place. That's going to be the Northern Colorado Amateur Radio Club's Winter 2022 Hamfest. That's going to be on Saturday, January the 15th. It's going to be at the ranch. It's also known as Larimer County Fairgrounds. And that's on 5280 Arena Circle in Loveland, Colorado. So if it's just east of Loveland, you take exit 259 off of I-25. You go east on Crossroads Boulevard, about 4/10 of a mile, and come to Fairgrounds Avenue, turn north, and it's about 1/4 of a mile, and you should see activity and such in that area to be able to pick it out. They do have license exam. The test starts at 9:30, and if you go just for license exam, there is no admission fee required, so just let them know at the door that you're coming in to take a test. They ask to be, if you're upgrading, be sure to bring a copy of your current license. Table reservations, 8-foot tables. Pre-registration runs $13 to $17. The variation in price, the lower price is no power, and I think there's a middle price of $15. That's if you need power, and $17 if you need power, plus be on the outer perimeter so you can get an antenna outside or something that needs to go outside. So for advanced table registration, you can go to ncarc.net, and the doors open from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Admission is $7. I think I covered everything on that one. Next we have on the calendar is the Slop Fest. That's going to be held at Adams County Fairgrounds on 9755 Henderson Road in Brighton. That's going to be on Sunday, February the 20th. Doors open from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Admission is $5. They have VE testing as well, begins at 10 a.m. Doors open at 9 a.m. and 6-foot tables, advanced purchase are $13 each. Tables at the door, if there are any left, will be $20. If you need extra time, the vendor setup begins on February the 19th at 7:15 in the morning. And if you purchase tables, you'll get an email confirmation prior to February 13th. Let's see. If you're interested in VE testing, you need some more information. Looks like for information you go to, it's all one word, JJWEINB as in Bravo, at gmail.com. And if you need more information on the Slop Fest, you can go to n0ara.org. I think that should pretty well cover that. And let's see what we got coming up in contest here on this next weekend. Let's see it. First one I got is the PODXS 070 Club PSK Fest. That begins on January 8th at 0 hour Zulu. Goes through January 8th until 23:59 hours Zulu. That's on 80 through 10 meters. That is a digital contest. Next we have the YBDX contest. That begins on January 8th at 0 hour Zulu. Goes through January 8th until 23:59 hours Zulu. That's on 80 through 10 meters. That is a phone contest. And next we have the Old New Year contest. That begins on January 8th at 0500 hours Zulu. Goes through January 8th until 0900 hours Zulu. That's on 80 through 10 meters. That is a CW and phone contest. Next we have the Skcc Weekend Sprintathon. Begins on January 8th at 1200 hours Zulu. Goes through January 9th until 23:59 hours Zulu. That's on 160 through 6 meters. That's a CW contest. And next we have the RSGB AFS contest. Begins on January 8th at 1300 hours Zulu. Goes through January 8th until 1700 hours Zulu. That's on 80 and 40 meters. That's a CW contest. Next we have the ARRL RTTY Roundup. That begins on January 8th at 1800 hours Zulu. Goes through January 9th until 23:59 hours Zulu. That's on 80 through 10 meters. That's a digital contest. And next is the EUCW 160 meter contest. Begins on January 8th at 2000 hours Zulu. Goes through January 9th until 0700 hours Zulu. That's on 160 meters. That's a CW contest. And next we have the NRAU Baltic contest. That begins on January 9th at 0630 hours Zulu. Goes through January 9th until 0830 hours Zulu. That's on 80 and 40 meters. That is a phone contest. Next we have the DARC 10 meter contest. That begins on January 9th at 0900 hours Zulu. goes through January 9th until 10:59 hours Zulu. That's, of course, on 10 meters. That's a CWN phone contest. And lastly, we have the NRAU Balti contest. Begins on January 9th at 0900 hours Zulu, goes through January 9th until 1100 hours Zulu. That's on 80 and 40 meters, and that is a CW contest. A couple other reminders. The High Noon Net, they meet daily at 12 noon, or early check-ins beginning at 11:30. They meet on a frequency of 7.240 megahertz, which is on the 40-meter band. And the Salvation Army Center Net, 1500 hours Zulu, that's 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. They meet Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on a frequency of 14.325 megahertz, which is on the 20-meter band. The Denver Radio Club maintains the following repeaters for use by all radio amateurs: a 147.330 megahertz with a positive offset, a 145.490 megahertz with a negative offset, a 224.380 megahertz with a negative offset, a 449.350 megahertz with a negative offset, a 448.625 megahertz with a negative offset, a 447.825 megahertz with a negative offset. Our digital turbo repeater operating on Brandmeister on 446.7875 megahertz with a negative offset. And our C4 FM digital repeater on 449.775 megahertz with a negative offset. The 447.825 megahertz repeater is configured for narrowband FM, and that requires a digital coded squelch of 073. There are two repeaters on 147.330 megahertz. The repeater in Lakewood requires a 100 hertz PL tone, and the second repeater located east near Franktown requires a 131.8 hertz PL tone. We have a second repeater on the same frequency out east to improve coverage along the Front Range and into the canyons. However, having two repeaters on the same frequency, with each repeater having a different frequency propagation, we ask that you monitor the frequency to ensure neither is in use prior to making your call. The 449.350 megahertz repeater provides wide area coverage, and this repeater hosts our Echolink station, W0TX node number 4140. And the 448.625 megahertz repeater is linked with the 145.490 megahertz repeater. Each repeater requires a 100 hertz PL tone for activation, except as noted, and each uses standard offsets. And for packet, we have an AX25 node on 145.050 megahertz repeater. And we have a 6-meter repeater on 53.09 megahertz with an input on 52.09 megahertz with a required 107.2 hertz PL tone. Your support of the Denver Radio Club is greatly appreciated. If you'd like to participate in any of the many club activities, please contact our club president, Jerry Vilhauer, W0GV. I would like to thank everyone for checking into the Denver Radio Club Net tonight. Your support is greatly appreciated. I hope you all have a great week, 7-3. And tonight we had a total of 32 check-ins, and the Denver Radio Club W0TX Net is now closed at 9:09. And the repeater is available for regular use. This is K0TR Net Control Station, and please stand by a moment while I return the PL tone to the repeater.
PL on.
And this is K02R. We'll be clear. Good night all.